Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome back to GreenRiver. This is episode number 26, and thank you all so much for coming back for yet another episode. We are in, excuse me, we are in a brand new game day. This is the very last game day of summer. We are playing 9 game days per season on this particular map. And yeah, we're in a new game day per season here, or new game day. And we have rain in the forecast today. So we're going to do a few things here at the main farm. We're going to go up to the pig farm in just a moment and do a few things over there. And then we are going to, let me get 2 of these out here for us. And then we are going to go and start prepping the 2 fields that we are our 2 wheat fields. We're going to start prepping those for winter. We're going to put oilseed radish on those at some point. We're not going to get to that today, but we are going to do that at some point this game, or this series, I should say. And so essentially, we cannot harvest anything else right now. Everything is still in a growing state. I'll bring up our map here where we can kind of look at that together. And I want to talk about a couple of different mods that I've put in. I did go ahead and decide to activate the soil compaction mod here on this map because I'm sort of thinking that this may very well be the only map that I'm going to play for 17. And I sort of figured, well, I want to get the hang of this so that when and if it becomes available for Farm Sim 19, I'll sort of be ready for that. So we have in our planted fields here, we've got 2 fields of sunflowers, we've got 2 fields of soybeans, and of course we've got our sugar beets over here. And all of those are still in a growing state. So it may be a little while before we can get to those because we have sunshine. Well, we have rain in the forecast today. We have sunshine tomorrow. And then we have a couple of days of rain and then a break and then more rain. So, yeah, we'll just have to do with what we have and make the best out of the situation. So anyway, we're going to drop these 2 bales of hay off over here to our cows just to get them squared away. And then, as I said, we're going to go up and we're going to take care of our pigs. And let's see, that should get us squared away on our cows. Let me switch over here and see. Yeah, that's pretty good. We could bring some silage over, but I've got a tipper trailer that has some total mix rations in it. And we'll bring that over at some stage and put that, empty that into there, and that'll be fun. So, hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I am feeling a little bit better. Recorded 2 episodes just the other day, and I sort of talked a little bit about that. I think by the time I spoke for those 2 episodes, I was getting a bit hoarse, and so I am feeling a little bit better. The cough is almost gone. I think only when I guess when I get a bit woke up last night, and I guess I had got a bit warm and was coughing a little bit. But other than that, I tend to do okay. That is, I guess, one thing that I almost always have happen to me is whenever I'm sick, especially with the flu or something like that, I can develop a cough, and it kind of lingers a bit. But this seems to be going away okay. So good cough medicine and throat lozenges and stuff like that, and so I'm gonna do all right. Had a good day at work today. This week is obviously part of the organization that I support is a customer support organization, and so that is the organization that supports our external customers. So it happens to be Customer Service Week, and what that means, for me, is that I get all sorts of cool cool food and stuff, because they're feeding all of the support engineers and with various things. And so we had pizza the other day, and we had barbecue today, and it's all good. So, all right, so we're gonna pick up our bucket here because it's down, and we're gonna go over and dump this pig food into the pig food trough over here. And so I've watched another video on FarmSim 19 today during my lunch when I was eating the barbecue, which was quite good. I'm really getting excited about it, and I'm sure you all are as well. Let me back up a little bit further here and see if I can hit that trigger. There we go. Getting excited about FarmSim 19. Of course, I'm guessing everyone else is too, because hey, what's not to be excited? It is fantastic game. As I've often said, you get such a variety of things that one can do. It's not just the same old thing. It's not just driving a truck or flying a plane. If you want to do a little bit of plowing, you can do some plowing. If you want to do some cultivating, you can do some cultivating. Stuff like that. If you want to focus on animals, you can. If you want to just grow crops for whatever reason, you can do that. And of course, you've got your forestry and those kind of things. So that's all cool about the game. And of course, getting the new version is just kind of the bonus, I think. All right, so we will come over here and shut our gate. Our pigs are well mannered, but I don't know if they are that well mannered. And then let's go ahead and top up our water, and that's good to go. All right, we're done here. We'll head back to the main farm. We're going to do a little bit of spraying this morning. As I said, we are getting those fields ready to go. And let me find the right gear here in our Toyota truck. So, as I said, I went ahead and activated the soil compaction mod. That is by the same group that developed the Seasons mod. So that is by Realism, I guess is how you pronounce that, modding. And it is in beta. I can't tell you where it's located. I can just tell you that if you're interested in it, using some online search techniques, searching for something similar to like Farming Simulator 17 or FS17 soil compaction will probably get you in the right spot as far as where to find it. Can't really go into detail on how to install it, but I will tell you this, that if you have ever installed the development version of Courseplay, how you download that from their GitHub website, and how you have to unzip it and then sort of rezip a portion of it back up, well, you got to do that with this as well. So but once you do that, you put it in, and a couple of things that you need to know is you need to purchase this little air compressor. This little air compressor is kind of the secret sauce with the mod as far as that goes, because when you come up, when you drive a vehicle up to the air compressor, which I'll show you just here momentarily, we'll go ahead and set the parking brake to be safe, and when we get out, and we bring up our F1 menu, we have some information here. We've got some, the 7030 Premium causes light compaction, and we can turn on our air compressor, and we can decrease the tire pressure, and we can increase the tire pressure, or we can turn the air compressor off. So I am going to be basically admitting to you all that I am going to be learning about this as we kind of go along, because I'm not really planning on, I don't think I'm planning on playing this map for a second season, because I don't think that there's going to be that much time to do that, because we are literally about 13, 14 days or so away from the release of FarmSim 19. The runway for me is relatively short because I am leaving for Texas on the 19th. So basically, fourth Thursday is the 22nd. That's Thanksgiving. So basically 2 weeks from today, or I'm sorry, 2 weeks from yesterday, I will be leaving for Texas for the week, and I will not be available, not be around when Farm Sims 19 releases. And so I think just between the limited time that I'm going to have with work projects and home projects and such as that, I'm probably going to be doing well to get the harvest and everything done. Now, I could, of course, fast forward and we could get us there, but I want to enjoy the twilight time, I suppose, for Farm Sim 17. When 15 came out, or I'm sorry, when 17 came out, right before 17 came out, I more or less said that, I would pretty much be done with Farm Sim 15 at that point, and I was. I had managed to essentially wrap up a series on whatever map I was playing. I think it was one of Stevie's maps, and I managed to wrap that up, and basically I was doing YouTube videos at that particular point in time, and I got everything sort of buttoned up with that series. And when 17 came out, I was ready to go and got that going and everything. And so I kind of think that and got that series going with 17. And so I'm not the type of person to never say never. It may be that it may take longer for certain mods to make its way to 19 than what it took for those mods to make their way to 17. And of course, things like that might cause me to play 17 a little bit longer after 19 comes out. But again, with the busy schedule and all that kind of stuff that I often talk about, just who really knows as far as that goes, and we'll just kind of play things by ear and see how things go. Now, the second mod that I've installed actually several weeks ago. I've been playing with this one on some other game saves that I have that I just play offline for my own enjoyment, and that is the sprayer mod add-on. And the cool thing about the sprayer mod add-on, and I'll show you right up here whenever we make the turn, is it automatically, auto-magically, I like to say, basically shuts the sprayer off. And it will do other things as well. For example, you can control, and I've often talked about this. I talked about this back in the FS15 days about how that I felt that these sprayers had the functionality to shut one side off, shut one side of the boom off, or regulate it in such a way where you could basically do that. And of course now we can. And so you'll notice that when I pull out here, actually, let's see, I need to set this for automatic, don't I? Current mode is single. Automatic, there we go. Okay, so I turn this back on, I've turned my sprayer back on, we're on automatic, and then when we pull back out onto the field, it turns the sprayer back on. So let me just, I'll back up here just a second. I don't really want to waste any spray, but if you notice that when I back up to the area that I've already sprayed, it basically shuts the sprayer off, and then we come up and it's on again. So that, I understand, obviously that's not realistic, but hey, sitting here talking to you all and trying to just stay focused on the task at hand, I'd rather kind of use it in automatic mode, but at least that way it does save on spray, because hey, chemical fertilizer is expensive, and from what I understand, it will also function the same way with the slurry spreader as well. Now, when you download this mod, and if you go out to my mod spreadsheet, you'll see it out there listed. But it's a mod for the sprayer add-on, and then you need to get the sprayer pack that includes this sprayer here, and then also some others as well, and you'll see those whenever you get those downloaded. Or you can go in and modify other sprayers that you might have, but if you want to take the, I suppose, the lazy approach to it, go out and just grab the mod and you got the sprayers and you're in business. And I went ahead and turned it off there so that it wouldn't spray, and then we'll turn it back on and I'll go ahead and do a headland so that we can do some our turns and everything. Now, of course, the soil compaction bit, let me just kind of pause things and I'll turn the sprayer off and we'll bring up our map here because I kind of want to take a look and see how this is affecting our soil compaction. It's light compaction, which from what I understand, the pink indicates light compaction. So if our tires essentially cause light compaction, which is what we saw whenever we pulled up to the air compressor, if we already have lightly compacted soil, then essentially it's not going to increase the soil compaction to our disadvantage. It's basically just going to be even. Now, if we were to bring a piece of equipment out here that might cause a higher level of soil compaction, and I think the levels are light, medium, and heavy. I'm not sure about the medium, but I think it's basically light and medium and heavy. If we were to bring a piece of equipment out here that either did medium or did heavy compaction, then clearly we would see our soil compaction level increase, I suppose, and then of course we would either need to cultivate or plow. We're planning on cultivating anyway, so we're going to basically cultivate this liquid fertilizer and these wheat stubble, this little wheat stubble and everything. We're going to cultivate that into the soil and then come around and plant some oilseed radish on top of that, which of course we won't get to that this episode. Don't even know if we will get to the cultivation on this episode. It might be doing well just to get the fertilizer down, but it'll be things for us to do the next time around for sure. Don't know if we'll do all of our fields because again, it's kind of, just kind of looking at, how much runway we have before I leave for Texas and 19 comes out and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to make any promises as far as the number of episodes that I am going to try to record between now and then, and a release schedule and all that kind of stuff. I am just kind of I'm enjoying not having to travel, and I don't have to travel between now and at least between now and the 1st of December. There is a December trip that is possible, but I'm hoping that gets canceled, which would basically mean that I will not be traveling anymore for 2018. Of course, my wife and I will be going to Texas, but that's not work related. But I think between now and Farm Sim 19 coming out, I don't have any travel, and I'm going to try to get us as far down the road, down the path as I possibly can to getting all of this done, these fields harvested at the very least. And because I want to, I've never actually played with the Ropa pack, so obviously that's going to be something that I'm going to be interested in doing, harvesting those sugar beets, because that will be cool to get to use that DLC here on this map. Alright, I think we'll go back around this other direction, and I guess it detected a couple of spots there that I missed and it turned on. Kind of cool. I suppose I should try to avoid using the GPS mod, just simply because it's going to probably be a while before the GPS mod makes its way into 19. And this will be good practice on the Grizzly Bear learning how to drive a tractor in a straight line by basically avoiding using the GPS mod. But hopefully, some of these will make their way into 19 fairly quick. If memory serves me correctly, Courseplay was fairly quick to make its way into 17. Of course, I believe that at least one of the Courseplay developers got the invitation to go out to Giants a few weeks before 17 came out to work with the development team so that it would be as quick as possible coming out with a new version. So fingers crossed that the differences between 17 and 19, at least from Courseplay's perspective, are either not that huge or they've had some information passed along to them so that it can make its way into the game fairly quick. The GPS mod, other things, even including this. I mean, this is like I said, I've been playing offline with some of the other map saves that I enjoy playing, and I've been using this the sprayer mod for a couple of weeks now, I suppose, and I quite like it. And so it'll be a lot of cool things, and of course we'll see probably some equipment, tractors and tippers and things like that get converted over. And I know in the last episode I kind of got on my soapbox a little bit and talking about the fact that maybe it's time for some of these mods to kind of die. Those that have, at least that are, conversions from older versions of Farm Sim. And I still think that to a certain extent, what I'm saying is, at least it makes sense to me, and I think it's true in what I'm thinking and how I feel, that we're only going to get better stuff, better mods and everything, if some of that stuff gets developed from scratch, if some of it is born new instead of these conversions and everything. Because if you take something that was designed for Farm Sim 13 as an example, and whatever tools and systems and stuff that were available back then obviously some of the textures and everything today, or the possibilities of those textures today, are so much more better. And I think that to get there, we just need to say goodbye to some of those. And I know that there's a few mods, like for example the Fraise. That's something that I pretty much enjoy, because it's a good quick, easy way to do things such as get your either your silage out of the silage bunker or manure out of the manure pit or whatever. And I like that mod, and it will be something that I will miss if it were to basically not get migrated into 19. But there are other ways, there's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say. And so something else will most likely come along. And really and truthfully, for what I use the Fraise for, even if it were to get migrated into 19, and if the textures didn't look that great, I would probably be okay with that. But I think that some of the tractors, and as I've often talked about, or maybe even complained about with the shakes and everything that some of the John Deere equipment has, I think that it's just maybe time for some of that stuff to just get developed from scratch. And of course, that's one of the reasons why I'm super excited about John Deere coming into the game, into Farm Sim 19, is because we will get excellent models created of those tractors by Giants. That is one thing that I think we might have things that we might not be just 100% pleased about as far as what Giants does. Maybe the same applies for SCS in the ETS2 and ATS world. But their models, their ability to create equipment and everything, I think is far superior. And it's just going to be good to have some of those very decent John Deere mods or models into the game. Just like I just read today that SES is very, very close to getting the Volvo in the game. Now, of course, the Volvo mod that's for ATS, that's top notch. I mean, that's top shelf. I think it's by Aerodeath. But it's also good to have it in the base game, because that's also good for the franchise and everything. All right, well, we're coming up on about 25 minutes or so, and it's about 7:25 here in the morning on this particular game day, and we'll make at least 2 episodes out of this game day, because I'd like to at least just cover getting this field cultivated and maybe get started planting oilseed radish on it. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna basically again, because we don't have that much time. But I'm not going to go through all the processes and everything as far as getting all the fields covered in liquid fertilizer, cultivating, and then planting in oilseed radish. I think if we just do it one time, I think that will suffice, and everything will be fine. I'll be happy, and you'll be happy, hopefully, and we'll just call it good. Because again, I think that just with the amount of time that I have before we leave on the trip, and then all of that, it's just going to be, there's just not going to be a whole lot of time left. And yeah. All right, well, I think I am going to start saying my goodbyes and letting you all know how much I appreciate you watching my episodes. I hope you enjoy my content. I know that this year, specifically this year, has been somewhat difficult. I know that I have taken time off, and I've just kind of been away, and I've just, I multitask at work quite well. That's probably one of the things that I do very, very well as far as my work goes. And anyone in IT fully understands how that you've got to be able to juggle multiple projects, multiple tasks. You're going to be in the thick of things, and your phone's going to ring, and your boss is going to say, "Oh, by the way, before you get ready to go on this trip, I need you to do this or that or whatever." So we juggle things, and I do quite well with that at work. But unfortunately, and of course, this all kind of had to happen back during the summer when I got busy with some work projects and travel and stuff is I just had to essentially just let things go. I had to let the non-essential stuff, the non-important stuff, and it's not that you guys aren't important. You are. I value my friendships, as I kind of talked about, I think, in the last episode. I value those friendships very much. But, at the end of the day, the stuff that matters the most is obviously my family. By the way, my wife is doing quite well these days. She did have a sinus infection back around the first part of October again. Gosh, I mean, that poor woman, she has had so many sinus infections in the last couple of years that it's just crazy. But she's gotten over that, and everything seems to be fine. So we got our flu shots a couple of days ago, and just about got to the point where my arm doesn't feel like it's going to fall off. So we're doing our best to make sure that she doesn't get sick. And thankfully, with me getting sick, I slept in the spare bedroom, and she's been fine, I think, with that. I don't think I had the flu, by the way. The more I think about it, even though I felt like I got hit by a truck and everything, I don't think it was officially the flu, because normally if I do get the flu, I am down a lot more time than what I really was with this thing. I think this was just a bad cold. But anyway, she's doing fine. She's doing well and everything. So we're just basically trying to keep her healthy and all of that stuff. But anyway, obviously she's my number one thing in life, and then obviously work and stuff like that. So when everything starts to pile up, I just have to kind of start putting aside the non-essential stuff, moving them to the back burner. And unfortunately, it happened again when I really didn't expect it. I mean, to be honest, I did not think that the October surprise was actually going to happen. It was a project that sort of got dumped on me because there was some problems, and well, I guess it's a good problem to have, but generally when things at work start going really bad, I have a tendency to inherit those projects, I guess, because I have a track record of getting stuff done. Which, by the way, I'm going to toot my own horn here for just a second. Just last week, a week ago, I celebrated my 20th year working for my company. Now, of course, I didn't start out there 20 years ago, but through acquisitions, I've maintained my seniority. And from the time that I first moved to Colorado up to last week was 20 years, and that was quite a milestone to achieve. And it really went by really quick. Of course, I guess that's just how life goes, right? But anyway, about 31 minutes here. I'm going to go ahead and wind this thing down, because otherwise I'm sure I'll start telling another stupid story here, and we'll realize that it's another 5 or 10 minutes of video time has been chewed away. But thank you again for watching. I do appreciate it. And please take care of yourself and also of each other. Don't forget, go over and check out PCSG and stop by Simulation Gaming Society, and say hi to us over on the Discord server there, and let us know what you're thinking about Farm Sim 19, what you're excited about, all that good stuff. Doug Zorley has done a fantastic job of keeping all the stuff about Farm Sim 19 nice and organized within the Simulation Gaming Society Discord server. So if you've missed some of the videos, or you've missed some of the fact sheets or stuff, we've got them all over there. Just come over there and enjoy it. So again, thank you all so much for watching, and I will talk to you all very, very soon. Bye bye for now.